he cut me right here, saying that if I tried to leave again, that he was going to kill me. He has hit me or abused me or just done something to harm me. One time I caught him yelling at her and squeezing her and like shaking her and saying, "Why the fuck won't you shut up?"
This is Janet Juarez, and though she definitely tried to play innocent with detectives after the murder of her husband, she didn't succeed. Because unfortunately for her, phone records, surveillance cameras, and live rounds in your pocket don't lie.
I know a neighbor across the street has some cameras, okay? What do you think that will show us when we get that footage?
After the first shot, I just felt like I wasn't in control of what I was doing.
At approximately 2:30 p.m. on April 18, 2021, Denver police responded to a shooting in the Montbello neighborhood of Denver, Colorado. They arrived to find 22-year-old Luis Sandoval slumped in the driver's seat of his car, still in the driveway, struck by multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Luis and Janet Juarez had been married since December of 2020, barely 4 months, and had a baby together. That evening, detectives sat Janet down at Denver Police Headquarters, and Janet had already decided what her story was going to be. Unfortunately for her, that story would very quickly become a nightmare.
What I'd like to start with is just kind of today, okay? What happened today? What led up to whatever happened, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So start with wherever you feel comfortable, like what happened before getting, like, did you, start with prior to your dad's house, where were you?
So, before that happened, I was with my husband at his parents' trailer, and I had been staying there with him. And the night before today, he got mad at me, and I don't even know why he got mad at me, but he started putting his forearm on my neck, and he started screaming at me about a cup that was on the floor. But I wasn't really aware of like why he was doing that because of a cup. And there just have been a lot of incidents where he has hit me or abused me or just done something to harm me, and his parents would see that, and so would his brother. And it was just like so many people would see him doing things to me, and I would try to leave, but he wouldn't let me. He would threaten me saying, "I'm gonna call CPS so that they take our baby away, so that they can rape her, and so that she can just die in CPS." And so today, I just had enough. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Janet and her husband Luis had been married 4 months. Whatever was happening in that relationship, newlywed problems don't end with a dead man in the driveway. And the detective knows there's more to this story.
And so I asked him if he could take us to my dad's house, and he didn't want to. And so we had been fighting that whole day, basically.
Today?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. And so I was finally able to get him to drop us off because he was saying that he was going to kidnap us, that he wasn't going to take me to my dad's house. And I finally told him that if he didn't, I was going to get my parents involved so that they knew everything that he was doing to me, because his parents would tell me not to tell my parents what he was doing to me when they would see him doing things to me. And so with them saying that and with his threats, I felt like I couldn't really get the help that I needed, the proper help. And so finally I said that I was going to tell my dad everything, that he was doing to me, and that he was hurting the baby as well. And so he got scared because of that, and he finally got to my dad's house. But then he said that once I was out the door, he was going to call CPS. And so I just didn't know what to do anymore, because he also said that he was going to find a way to come back and get a gun and kill us. And so I got my gun, and he saw it, and he was trying to grab it from me to shoot me, and I shot him.
Open and shut, right? We can all go home. Except Janet's version of the events isn't exactly what happened. And Detective Sandoval has a few things bagged up in evidence that are about to make things very clear.
So I'm going to kind of start not from this at the beginning, but beginning of coming to your dad's house, okay? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So you guys are arguing this morning. Is it physical?
Yes.
Is it verbal?
Both.
It's both? Okay. So he's hitting you, he's yelling at you this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You do convince him finally to take you to your dad's house. And on the way to your dad's house, is there still yelling and arguing and fighting going on?
Yes.
Is he hitting you?
No, he was driving, but he was just yelling at me and threatening me.
Okay. When you said you were going to say that he hurt the baby, was that true, or was that just something you were trying to tell him to scare him to get you to get him to take you to your dad's?
Yeah, he had hurt the baby. He would always yell at her, and one time I caught him. I didn't see another time, but one time I caught him yelling at her and squeezing her and like shaking her and saying, "Why the fuck won't you shut up?"
Okay. So but in the car and at the house today, he wasn't doing that?
No, because I sat in the back with her.
You sat in the back?
To protect her.
Okay. So he drives you to your dad's house. You're just arguing at this point, and he parks. Is there a reason why he just kind of parks right there in the front of the driveway, or did he expect you were going to come back out, or did he think you were leaving and never coming back out?
Yeah, he just parked, and he said, "If you leave, I'm going to call CPS, and I'm going to get a gun and come shoot you."
Okay. So you get out with your daughter. You take her inside. Do you have to unlock the door? Did your dad open the door for you?
No, I just opened the door.
Okay. Do you have a key, or is it unlocked?
It was unlocked.
Okay. Where do you put your daughter at in the house?
On the couch.
Okay. Is that like right inside the door? Do you have to go inside a decently amount?
No, there's a living room right as you go in,
Okay.
and I put her on the couch.
Okay. Then where do you go from there? Straight up to your room?
No, and then I went back outside, and he just kept threatening me and yelling at me as I was getting my things. And then I just didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like if I stayed at my dad's that I was going to be safe, because of how many times he told me he said he was going to shoot me and call CPS. And so I went back outside, and we kept arguing, and he turned around, and as I was grabbing my backpack, he tried to get my gun from my backpack, because that's where I had it, and I grabbed it and I shot him.
Okay. So I just want to get this right. You take your daughter inside, you put her inside, you go back outside to get your bag.
Yeah.
Is that the backpack?
Well, I was getting all of our stuff, because I was able to pack some stuff.
Okay. So multiple bags, but the backpack included?
Yes.
Okay. And your gun's in the backpack already?
Yes.
Okay. When did you buy that gun?
I think I bought it in March, and I had bought it as self-defense, because at that point he was just getting extremely aggressive with us, but he wouldn't let us leave. And so I bought it as a measure to protect my baby and I.
Okay. Is your daughter, that's his child as well? Okay.
Yes.
So your gun's in the backpack. You guys fight over, are you inside of the car, or are you outside of the car when you fight over the gun?
I'm inside.
Where are you sitting inside of the car?
In the back.
Okay. So if you're in the back seat of a car, most of them have like the two seats, one on each side and kind of some in the middle, right? Like there's enough seat in the middle for a third person to sit back there.
Yeah.
Where were you seated in the car in that?
In the left, on the left side.
Behind the driver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there a car seat in the car?
Yes, I had my baby in the car seat. I took her out with the car seat.
Is there like a base that gets left in there though, or is there?
No.
So there's nothing else in the car, so you could technically move about all three seats if you had wanted to try and move.
No, there's the bags still there.
Okay.
So I was only able to get my baby down.
Okay.
The detective is asking about the space in the back seat very deliberately. If Janet couldn't move around, if she was pinned, trapped, cornered, that's one thing. But if she had room to maneuver, to open a door, to get out, that starts to look a lot less like survival and a lot more like choice. And there's much more than just backseat geometry that could make or break this case for Janet.
And how does he reach, with what hand does he reach around with to try and fight for the gun?
He turned around like this all the way around his seat, and he tried to grab the handle on my backpack.
Okay. And did he get a hold of the handle of the backpack?
Yes.
Did he know you had a gun in there?
I know he saw it, but I hadn't told him about the gun.
When did he see the gun?
When he grabbed my backpack, because he would always grab my backpack to get my phone so that I wouldn't call anyone when he was abusing me. And so I think that's what he was trying to do again, just grab my stuff and not give it to me.
Okay.
But then that's when he saw the gun.
Okay. Did you have your phone on you when you were in the car?
Yeah, it was in my backpack.
Okay. So you have your phone, you think he's trying to get your phone in the backpack, and he sees the gun. Is the bag unzipped?
No, there's a pocket in the back of the backpack.
That's like, is it a zipped up pocket or is it?
It's just an open.
Okay, and that's where you had your gun at? Okay. So he sees the gun as he's reaching for your backpack. And which hand again, I'm sorry, did you say it was with?
His left.
Left hand? And so he's turned around kind of similar to this reaching? Okay. And as he's grabbing for your gun in the backpack, you said he doesn't get the backpack away from you?
He pulls it and he sees the gun and I grab the gun.
Okay. How is he sitting when you grab the gun? Is he still turned around towards you?
Yeah, he's still turned around with my backpack, but I'm holding my backpack from the straps and he had it from the handle.
And what hand is the gun in of yours?
My right hand.
Okay, so if he's sitting looking back towards you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, and you have the gun in your hand now, right? And then you shoot at him. Okay, so you basically shoot at him and he's facing sideways on you trying to get the backpack? Mm-hmm. Okay. And where do you see where that round goes?
I have no idea. I honestly, it was like I didn't know what was happening after the first time that I pulled the trigger.
Have you ever used a gun before?
Yeah, when I was smaller, we would go to the mountains and shoot, and then I would go to ranges to shoot. Okay.
So you're pretty decently good with guns?
I don't really know how to use them.
Okay.
I don't really use them. It was only a few times.
A couple of things. A man sitting sideways in the front seat while you're in the back, with a door right next to you, is not exactly a kill or be killed situation. And Janet has just casually told the detective she knows her way around a gun. She bought it in March, took it to the range. The innocent, terrified wife, who just happened to have a loaded weapon and just happened to fire it 3 times, that story is getting thinner by the minute.
So you only fire one shot?
I don't know how many times I fired.
Okay.
But I remember seeing my dad come out, and I go into the house to check on my baby. And my dad was talking to me.
Where were you at when your dad was talking to you?
Well, as I was walking in, he was talking to me.
Okay.
And then he walks outside and he sees my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, he came back inside and he's like, what is going on? And I told him that I shot my husband because he was threatening us and he was going to kidnap us.
Okay. And where did you have the backpack? Did you leave it in the car? Did you take the backpack in with you?
I took it with me.
Okay. What did you do with the backpack when you got in the house?
I put it on the couch. My dad said to sit down and to leave my stuff on the couch.
Okay. And you just sat on the couch and waited for your dad? And then what do you do from the couch? At what point? Is that where you stayed the whole time?
Yeah, and my dad was telling me to call 911, and I was in shock, so I wasn't responding. And he was trying to call 911, and I was just sitting on the couch, and I started crying.
Okay.
Little does Janet know, the detective is already building something. The gun purchase, the storage, the 2 phones, the bedroom. He's not asking these questions because he's curious. He's stacking the table before he flips it. And when he gets up to leave in a moment, what he comes back with is going to put Janet in a very uncomfortable position.
Is there anything else before we get into some more questions that you want to tell me about that incident itself? Am I missing anything? Did I get everything correct that you remember happening?
Yeah, that's from the incident, that's what happened.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start asking you some questions, okay?
Okay.
Because I think there's some things you might be leaving out.
Okay.
I think there's some things that might not have happened as you're telling us.
Okay.
And I just want you to be honest with us, okay? I know there's some stuff that, happened, whether it's yesterday, this morning, weeks ago, years ago, but we need to figure out exactly how everything happened today, okay? And like I said, just truthful about it.
Okay.
Do you have a room at your dad's house that you sleep in?
Yes.
Okay. What room is yours up there, or in the house? Where is it at?
It's the first room going up the stairs.
Up the stairs. Is there any markings or anything in the room that says it's your room?
There's a painting on my door.
What does it say?
It's just a painting of a tree and the sky.
Okay. Anywhere on the door does it say your name?
No.
Okay. Inside of there, in the room, would we find anything in your room related to the gun or gun boxes or paperwork for the gun?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
What would we find in there?
The gun case, another, I think a gun holster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that's what it's called, but there's another thing. It's on my dresser, and then.
On your dresser?
And then a receipt of when I bought the gun, where I bought it.
Where's your phone at?
In my backpack.
In your backpack? Okay. Do you ever remember going up to your room?
No, I didn't go up to my room.
Your phone was found in your room.
Oh, I have 2 phones. That phone, my husband had broken it, and so I had to get another phone.
Okay.
And my other phone is in my backpack.
In what pocket?
In the zippered part.
Okay. And you said your gun box and everything is on your dresser?
I think the gun box was on my bed, and...
Underneath the bed, on top of the bed?
On top of the bed.
You just leave it there?
Yeah.
How come you store it there?
Well, my dad had asked me why I had a gun, and he had gone into my room, and he saw the gun box, and so he was asking me why I had the gun, and I told him it was for self-defense. And so I put the box back in there before I left back to my husband's house.
Okay. Okay, give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
Detective Sandoval steps out. Janet sits alone with everything she's just said. The gun box on the bed. The broken phone she claims she wasn't using. The working iPhone she swears was in her backpack. The detective called the phone number. The phone upstairs rang. And Janet's bed, the one she says she never went near, had been moved. When he comes back, it only gets worse for her.
Okay, so we'll get back to a couple more things, okay? When you took your daughter out of the car to take her inside, was she asleep or awake?
She was awake.
She was awake. Was she crying? Was she happy? Was she just calm?
She was just calm.
Just calm, okay. You go inside, you set her down. You had mentioned a couple times that he had threatened to call CPS, that he was going to get her taken away from you, okay? Everything that I can tell, you seem like a good, very good mom.
Thank you.
Was there a fear? Why were you in fear of CPS? If you thought you were doing a good job raising your daughter?
Because he would tell me that when children go into CPS that they get raped, that they just get trafficked into being sold into sex, and that engraved a really deep fear in me.
Okay.
And like he would say as if he didn't care what happened to the baby.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I didn't want to be there with him anymore.
Okay. When you went inside with your daughter, did you think about calling 911 to report what had been going on?
No.
Had you ever reported any of the incidents beforehand?
No, but I did tell multiple people that I needed help because my husband was abusing me.
Uh-huh.
But then he would threaten me with taking the baby away or killing us or kidnapping us, and he cut me right here, saying that if I tried to leave again that he was going to kill me. And he would just do a lot of things that made me feel like I couldn't get away safely.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know if any neighbors have any cameras nearby?
I don't.
Okay. I know a neighbor across the street has some cameras, okay? What do you think that will show us when we get that footage?
I don't know.
Do you think it'll show, was there arguing beforehand?
Yeah, there was arguing the whole way.
But when you went back out and you were trying to get your backpack and he went for the gun, was there arguing or was it quiet?
No, yeah, he just kept telling me that he was gonna call him.
Were you yelling back at him or saying anything?
No, I just tried to not talk to him as much as possible, and I just kept telling him to please not do that.
Okay. Did he know you had a gun?
No, I didn't.
He didn't? So today would have been the first time he might have saw that gun in that backpack?
Yes.
The fear she's describing, the threats about CPS, about the baby, it's specific and detailed, and it's also, conveniently, impossible to disprove. The detective needs more clarity, so now it's time for some show and tell. And what it shows is not going to help Janet at all.
I'm going to move around, okay? I just want you to show me. I kind of get what you're saying about him turning to try and get the gun, but I want you to show me, okay? So I'm going to sit, I'm going to move this a little bit this way, and I'm going to kind of have your seat positioned like you would be sitting in the car, and I'll be positioned kind of like he was. And I just want you to tell me when I turn if I'm correct in what he was doing, okay? Is that okay? All right. Let me move this out real quick. I'm going to scoot your chair back just a little bit so I can kind of have enough room in front of you, okay? So this would be where you were sitting, right? This would be him in the driver's seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you sitting in the car when you go to get the bag?
Yes.
Okay. And you told me he had turned around to grab the bag with his left hand, right? So
Yeah,
maybe,
he reached. Like
so he was like this, probably?
Well, he tried to reach with just moving his arm.
So he would have been like this and tried to go like that?
And looking back at
So
me.
kind of like this?
Yes.
This is about how he was?
Yeah, looking back at me more.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you had the gun and shot at him?
No, I grabbed my backpack, and so he tried to grab the backpack.
So he would have been like this?
Yes.
And is that when you shot him?
No, he pulled my backpack and
So he
I
pulled
pulled
it.
it back.
And then you would have pulled back so he'd still be in this position?
Well, I pulled it back and he turned, and that's when I got it and I shot him.
Turned how?
He.
Tell me how to turn.
Oh, he was gonna turn as if he was gonna get out of the car.
So he was going to get out like this?
Yes.
Was he like this? Or how would you tell me to sit?
No, he was more straight.
So he'd been sitting like this?
Yeah, but
Okay.
he was doing the motion as if he was going to
So
get
he
out
was
of the car.
Still kind of moving?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when you shot him the first time?
Mm-hmm.
And then how many times do you think you shot after that?
I honestly don't
You
know.
don't remember? Okay.
A jury watching this reenactment wouldn't call it a struggle. They'd call it an execution. Janet says it herself. Luis was turning around, moving as if he was going to get out of the car. He had one hand on her backpack. His seatbelt was still on. And Janet, from the back seat, drew a gun and fired. She says she only remembers the first shot, but the detective knows that there were more than one. And there's one more piece of this puzzle that's about to land.
Okay. So he's turned back, you fire the shot, you remember getting out. Do you remember any cars passing you when you're in the car? Do you remember closing the door? Was the door open?
I don't remember. After the first shot, I just felt like I wasn't in control of what I was doing.
Okay.
And everything was just happening.
Okay. So the phone number you gave us, the phone number Dad gave us, you said you had a second phone.
Yes.
Does that have a different phone number?
No, it's the same one.
Okay. So both phones have the same phone number?
No, I took the SIM card out of the phone that my husband broke and I put it in the new one.
Okay. So the phone that would have been upstairs was the broken phone.
Yes.
The phone that's in your backpack would be the phone that has the SIM card that would call. Okay. So my partner was at the house, called the phone number, and the phone upstairs was the phone that rang.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't think you're telling me the truth on that, okay, with what happened. Because your bed was moved, okay? So what happened up there?
I honestly did not go up there at all.
But your phone was in the room that you said you had on you, right? That you said is the one that works.
So the phone that I have now is an iPhone, and it was in my backpack. I don't know if my dad went upstairs to my room or anything, but I remember having my phone, the one that works, in my backpack, and I had the other phone, the broken one. That one is still, it was still on and everything, and it was on the side, on the bedside table in my room, but that one I wasn't using. That one was just there because he had broken it. And so I had to get a new phone. And the phone that works was in my backpack.
Okay. So you had no reason to go upstairs and get the gun out of the gun box?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Because if that's what happened, that's okay. Okay. We just need to know the honest truth about it. Because having a gun, using a gun, having to go inside and get a gun, using a gun, we just need the full truth about how this went down, right? Because there's surveillance cameras outside, there's neighbors, there's people outside on a decent day, okay? And talking to people in general, I'm not sure if that's if you're being honest with me about not having to go inside and upstairs to get the gun. Okay?
No, yeah, I didn't go upstairs at all. I just went inside to place the baby on the couch.
Okay.
But I didn't go upstairs because my room is always locked.
Janet seems not to understand that phones ring, whether you think they're broken or not. More importantly, she seems not to understand that detectives already know someone went up to that room. The gun box, the magazine, the moved bed, and the working iPhone that was supposed to be in her backpack but was found upstairs. This interrogation is starting to look like a very specific sequence of events. Drop off the baby, run upstairs, grab the gun, walk back down, and shoot Louise 3 times in his car.
Okay. When you were searched here at headquarters, there was a live round of a bullet in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why that was in your pocket?
I don't remember if I had put it there, but I'm sure that's what happened. But I don't remember physically putting it into my pocket.
Where would you have gotten that bullet from? When you say you don't remember putting it in your pocket, you don't know why it's there.
I don't know. I remember the officer pulling it out of my pocket, but I honestly don't remember if I put it in there. I'm sure I did, but I don't know why.
Okay. When he reached in your bag or reached for your bag to try and get your backpack, did he ever touch the gun at all?
No.
Never? Okay. Do you ever remember like cocking the gun to try and get it to fire or anything like that, or did you just have to pull the trigger?
I think I did cock it.
Okay. How would that have went if you were going to use the gun? What would you have done? Do you recall?
And pulling it out, and I cocked it, and then I pulled the trigger.
Okay. And then that's all you remember?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went inside the house. Was your daughter okay inside the house at that time?
Yeah, she was just calm. She had been really sleepy, but she was just calm at that point when I saw her.
Okay. All right, give me one more second and just see if you have any questions, okay?
A live round in her pocket. She doesn't remember putting it there. She's sure she did, but doesn't know why. Once again, the detective excuses himself. And once again, Janet is left sitting under the weight of everything she said. The phone, the bedroom, the bullet, the timeline, all of it quietly closing in around her.
You fire the shots, okay? Well, actually, before that, you're fighting over the backpack, right? He tries to get your backpack. Have you ever, you have a baby, right? You drive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you turn around, whether you're like, if you're stopped at a light, or let's say you're in a parking lot, and maybe you're waiting for somebody, your car's in park, okay? And your baby starts to yell or laugh. When you turn around, your feet kind of adjust to the car, or do you just kind of turn just your upper body?
I don't know. I feel like
Okay, that's okay. It's just
I would just.
okay. Because we're trying to figure out how he turned in the seat. I know you told me he turned all the way around. Did his legs turn with him? Did it seem like he was up out of the chair at all?
I don't know. I couldn't see his feet.
Okay. Okay. So then you're trying to each pull and tug at this backpack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get the backpack from him. And you get your gun out, right?
Yes.
At what point right there is he still a threat to you? Do you feel like he's a threat to you? What point do you feel that? You have your gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know, like, I feel like everything was just happening so fast, and since he saw a gun, I felt like he was going to try and come out of the car to get it from me.
Was his seatbelt on or was it off?
It was on.
Okay.
He was going to take it off, and I shot him.
He was going to take it off? And you shot him the first time?
Mm-hmm.
And then you shot him a second time? Right?
I don't remember.
And then you shot him a third time?
I shot
right?
him 3 times.
Did you?
I don't know how many times I shot. I just know I shot the first time.
You shot him 3 times. And he didn't have the gun. He wasn't turned around anymore.
No.
Janet Juarez pleaded guilty in February of 2023 to second-degree murder, heat of passion. The first-degree murder charge was dropped as part of the plea. She was sentenced to 32 years in prison. Luis Sandoval was 22 years old. He was a husband and a father to a child who will grow up without him. Whatever the truth of the relationship was, it ended in a driveway on Granby Street with 3 bullets and a diaper bag. Our hearts go out to Luis's family, all who knew him and all who loved him. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here.